What's that name again? I forgot.
The name's Poochie D, and I rock the telly. I'm half Joe Camel and a third Fonzarelli. I'm the kung fu hippie from Gangsta City. I'm a rapping surfer, you the fool I pity.
Oh, Poochie is one outrageous dude.
Hello, I'm Judah.
And I'm Zion.
And we are the Amateur Film Critics. And guys, we have made it. This is the end of season 2.
Another season.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised we're here. We had a lot of space in between the filming of all the different episodes. So the release of all the episodes, if it at any point feels like it's referencing things that you haven't seen yet or whatever, that's because the episode's probably released out of order of us filming them.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still think we had a great second season. And season 3 is going to be even more planned out. We're already talking about it.
Maybe not of the movies we choose. Those are still going to be random picks. Because I liked how we did that near towards the end of this.
Yeah, towards the end of us recording season 2, we did a lot of movies where each week we each picked a movie, and that's what we recorded that week. Today we are gonna follow in the tradition of ending our season. Last season we ended it with ranking all the movies we had done. So for season 2, we're doing that same thing. I think maybe we should read off a list of the season 2 movies, because there might be a couple special movies interplaced in between there, and we don't want people to be confused about what's technically season 2 and what's not.
Yeah.
So this is I'll read our what we call the release schedule. All right. We started the season with Space Jam 2, then Doctor Strangelove, then Jungle Cruise, then Jaws, then Black Widow, then the 1966 Batman, Inception, The Little Mermaid, The Bad Seed, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and then we finished with Jurassic Park, which brings us to today, in which we will rank them all. So I'll go first for this one.
Okay.
And number 11, I don't think this should come as a shocker, is Space Jam 2. Or Space Jam: A New Legacy, if you want to get technical. This shouldn't be a surprise. I'm pretty sure I made it clear that I hated this movie.
Yep.
Alright, so number 11, I have The Jungle Cruise.
I figured this is what you would say, yeah.
I did not like this one as much as I just thought this was a little, I don't know, this was my Space Jam 2 of the season. I just thought.
Yeah.
I just thought, I don't know even what to say about it. It was bad.
Well, yeah, I understand. I understand why you don't like that movie. I think one of the big points we came out of Jungle Cruise is that the reason I liked it more than you was because these type of Indiana Jones type movies always they have a special place in my heart, or I just always seem to like them for some reason. All right, so for my number 10, I actually have Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which
we know somebody's gonna get very mad.
Our poor grandma who watched, I watched that one with our grandma, and She loves Abbott and Costello, apparently. I guess that's like a little bit of something that she has nostalgia for or whatever. And I understand that back then they were sort of like some of the most defining comedians.
Yeah.
But nowadays, there's a lot of datedness to it.
Yeah, compared to other comedians we have now, it just feels like a little old-timey. Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to get mad at the film I put here, but number 10 is Black Widow.
Oh no, Zion! Jasmine is gonna kill you! Or my sister, Jasmine, loved this movie. I thought Gracie loved this movie too. Like, they're gonna hurt you, jeez.
Well, I don't think that they watch these. I don't think they watch these.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I might tell her that you put it there.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
You went into this a lot in the review, but do you want to talk about it a bit?
Yeah, let me talk about it. I just felt like it's for a certain type of people. It's for the people who like those movies where they just talk about their feelings and just talk it out.
Yeah.
And I can get into like some things like that. Like, I would say that maybe Full House was better than this film, and that has kind of the same attitude in a way, but I just didn't like, I don't know, I just felt like this came out as, this was boring to me.
Alright, so number 9, I have Batman 1966.
Okay.
I know. I know this is probably one you have higher up. For me, it was just, I want to make sure that I respect it a lot as being the first superhero film, and it's not bad by any means. It's not bad, but it's just maybe slightly too campy for me, if that's a good way of putting it. Silly, okay. I guess.
Yeah.
Especially when I am a person who prefers the darker take on Batman.
Oh, brother!
No. I'm gonna say, there's a claim I made in that video where it was my favorite where I said it was my favorite Batman film, but since then, I thought about another Batman film, which I like more than this, and that film is Batman Returns. It's
been a long time since I've seen that one.
It's the sequel to the 1980 Batman. It's got, I forget his name every time.
Isn't Batman played by Michael Keaton in that?
Yeah, he's played by Michael Keaton. Michelle Pfeiffer plays Catwoman.
Yes.
And the Penguin is played by... Oh, shoot. I forgot his name again.
That's okay. If you can't remember it, that's fine. We can just pop it up on the screen right now, but yeah.
I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
Yeah.
So what's your number 9, Zion?
The number 9 is Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Okay, so we were pretty close on that one.
Yeah, we were pretty close. I think I've already explained my opinions on this film in this video, so I don't need to do that. But
we went into that already. So that brings us to...
It was a little better than Black Widow, I just felt like.
Yeah, I'm sure Jasmine's gonna legit, hurt you for that opinion, but...
Sure, Jan.
Well, that's just, that's discussion for another day. Oh, so that brings us to number 8, in which I actually have, Zion, you're gonna be proud of me, I have Jungle Cruise.
Okay, that's good. That's
So
good.
I didn't put it too high. Again, I like the adventure style movies, but Jungle Cruise, from like, real film, like, criticky perspective, it's not a great film.
Correct!
But I still think it's a good film.
So my number 8 is Space Jam 2: A New Legacy.
Wait, so that means, like, didn't we flip our, like, Space Jam 2 and Jungle Cruise? Didn't I? You had Jungle Cruise at number 11.
Did.
Right?
That's hilarious.
That is funny. Okay.
So, I like the pop culture references, and I liked how they had. I liked the way they brought the Looney Tunes in all these like different worlds. But other than that, it's not as great as other films we have watched.
Yeah. So that brings us to number 7, in which we have The Little Mermaid I have The Little Mermaid.
You're an idiot.
I know. I'm sorry. I know you love her, but it was just... I'm sorry.
Sure, Jan.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna say why. I just it's a great film. All right, I'm gonna say that. And it has incredible music.
That it does.
Yes.
You're gonna say something about the plot, aren't you? That's what you're gonna say.
I don't know. It's not that interesting to me.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Let's save our arguments for later.
Okay, yeah, because you're probably gonna put The Little Mermaid up high. I'm just calling it right now.
Okay. For my number 7, is this one you're gonna be very mad at? But now that you put the Little Mermaid in this spot, I feel like, and I didn't know he was gonna do this at the time, but I have it, Inception.
Evil person. Oh my gosh.
What
How could you do that, Zion? That was a fantastic film.
Was it?
Yes, it was, and you liked it.
I liked it. I like other films more than it.
Didn't you give this like a 4 stars though?
Yeah, but I liked a lot of films we had on this.
Looking at
a lot of good films.
Looking at the films to come on my list, I can see how you liked. I'm gonna have a couple problem films, but I can see how you like some of these other ones more than them. All right, I'll say
problem films.
Yeah, there's gonna be 1 or 2 films that
it just was a little confusing. It was a little confusing at times, and at times I got bored with it, but I still thought it was an interesting film.
All right, so that brings us to number 6, in which I have Black Widow.
Oh.
Yeah, so I know you're gonna hate me for it being above Little Mermaid. But here's the deal.
You're one of the people.
Yes, that's a great. I am one of those people. I think it really catered to Marvel I don't want to say super fans, but like the Marvel like fandom who's really been following this for quite a bit. And I like that aspect of it. I think that's something really cool that they did with it. The way they showed Budapest, for example.
Yeah, I also think that's why the girls liked it so much, because they recently just watched.
Yeah, they watched all of them. Yeah.
All of them.
So
they will know a lot of things about them. So
yeah. So I am looking at this from a particularly like Marvel fan perspective, and I quite enjoyed it. It's not at the top of my Marvel list. We ranked all of the Marvel movies in our Black Widow review if you want to go watch that. But that was just a shameless plug there. But as far as Marvel movies go, I thought it was really interesting, and I just sort of liked the overall more serious tone that they took with it. So that brings us to your number 6, Zion. What do you got?
6 is Batman in 1966. That was on. That was. I did not intend for it to be like that. I didn't know that. I just realized that now that I did that.
Put right above Inception?
No. That I put Batman in 1966 at my mind on the 6th spot.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's. Sorry, that took me a minute. Jeez. Yeah, but so my big thing, Zion, is how do you put Batman 1966 above Inception?
I thought it was a better movie than Inception. I'm sorry.
But objectively, it's not. So.
Sure, Jan.
I'm not going to lie and say that it was a close call, but I just thought it was better than Inception.
You're not going to lie and say that it was a
what?
I
like this movie, though. I really enjoyed Inception, but I really enjoyed Batman 1966.
So that does bring us to number 5, which I have, and this was, I gotta say, this was a standout movie for this season. Doctor Strangelove. I did not expect to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
But holy cow, that was actually a really good film, Zion.
Interesting film.
Yeah.
The Coke Corporation probably on a
They're gonna come for us. Yeah, but if you have not seen Doctor Strangelove, highly recommend it. It really shows. I don't know. I think it really shows a time in history when people were terrified of Russia.
Yeah.
And everybody was sort of scared of nuclear war, which is such a serious topic. But it shows it in not a drama. It doesn't show it in a super drama-y way, I would say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It somehow keeps it in a more interesting, not even action. I don't know how to put this movie. I guess it is more drama-y, but it's like war room drama, if that makes sense. This is such a hard film to describe.
Yeah.
It's got that Stanley Kubrick touch of strangeness with just such a fascinating plot. So Zion, what was your number? Is 5? Yeah, 5.
I have Jurassic Park. I had Jurassic Park at number 5. It was a really good film, y'all. What? It's at number 5. Hey, that's a really good.
I gotta cut you some slack. Number 5 is a good place.
Why are you look so mad that it was at number 5?
Okay.
You're trying to force me to put this film at number 1.
No. It's your ranking. I'll let it be. So do you want to explain your number 5 a little bit?
Yeah. I liked other films that are down the list a little bit more, but Jurassic Park I thought was still better than the previous film. So
yes.
I think this is a classic film.
Yes.
Classic. And most of the graphics still hold up really well.
Yeah.
Some of them don't, in my opinion, but that's just my.
I don't agree with that, but I'll accept your opinion. I can see where you're coming from.
The acting I don't like, but that's why it's at number 5.
So that does bring us to number 4, which I want to talk about. This is the other standout film of, I would say, this season. It's one I did not expect to get this high, but The Bad Seed, which I have at number 4. I put it just above Doctor Strangelove because I feel like they're along that same line of like weirdness, but I liked The Bad Seed slightly more. And The Bad Seed, I must say, like it's kind of hard to describe again, but it's really good. I think in tone and writing and all, and like the entire like plot of it works very well. And I want to give out, I think we gave out an award for acting last season. I can't remember what we did. Or like we did one for best standout film, most interesting film.
Yeah, most interesting.
But I'm going to give a different award for best acting in a movie we reviewed this season to that little girl.
Yes, I would agree.
Yes. I think that little girl is the best actress we've seen in a movie this entire season.
No, I think her performance in this film is the best acting in a film that I've ever seen. It's so good.
It's one of like, so I don't think either of us are really ones to like super focus in on people's acting, but like this girl just stands out in her performance as the psychopathic little girl. And if you have not watched The Bad Seed, and we were talking about the old version, I think there was a remake that got horrible reviews.
I think when I was looking up this film, I found like a remake, but I didn't watch it. But
yeah, but like legit, The Bad Seed. When did it come out? Was it 1950s?
I don't remember.
Whenever it came out, you gotta go watch it. It is standout film, standout performance by that little girl.
Yes.
Who we don't even remember her name, which is sad, but literally probably gonna be one of the best performances we'll ever see in a movie. So yeah, that's why that's my number 4. Zion, what's yours?
My number 4, I have Jaws.
Ooh,
that
Jaws is lower than I thought you had it. Okay.
Really?
What? Yeah, I thought you would have had that slightly higher, but I see now that you don't.
Okay. This is the only film I think I didn't watch for this season just because I've watched it so many times. And I can't remember almost everything that happened in it. So, yeah. And I ran out of time. But, yeah.
Yeah, but you obviously really like this film. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought how they played the shark in the opening scenes of the film, I thought those were really good. This is called a classic for a reason.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I have Martin Brody right here, actually.
I have the little Jaws shark right here. This is the bloody version.
Ooh. Yeah, I only have the regular version, I think. Yeah, I only have the regular Jaws. But, yeah, I totally agree. And it's actually funny that you say Jaws here, because in my number 3, I have Jaws.
I kind of expected this, but...
Yes. So, again, Jaws is a classic movie. I totally agree with Zion. I think it has I think it has incredible cinematography with the way they did the shark, especially in those beginning scenes. It really... I don't know. It really tells this great story, and it's somewhat simplistic, yet it's just very, I don't know, it's very well done. So
for my number 3, I have Doctor Strangelove. This is a
Wow. Okay.
and
Who?
I'm sure all you can think about now is in what order will the last two films be?
Yes. Exactly.
I know what you're thinking right now.
I'm like, oh. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
I know,
Right, so
but let me explain Dr. Strange a little bit. This is a film that, out of all the films that, out of all the films of this season, this is one of the two films that, if you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it immediately. It's just that good.
yes. I totally agree. Doctor Strangelove is one of those films I don't think a lot of people have seen, but they totally should.
But I think at the time, like, this was to show you how like great of a movie this is. And some of you, this opinion might shock you. Some of you, you won't know who these people are, but this was, I think, either like us, Huckle or Ebert's favorite like film of all time.
I don't know who those people are.
You don't know who? Well, some of the older people might know who those people are, but they were very famous, like movie critics. They had their like own like TV show where basically all they did was like review films, and, but yeah, that's who they are. They were very like famous movie critics, but yeah, I just really liked this film.
For my number 2, are you ready, Zion?
Yes.
Zion was really wondering how I would make this choice. Inception is at number 2. Yeah, so Inception.
Okay.
I said this in the video, in our review on it, is one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love it. I think, Christopher Nolan, who is also one of my favorite directors, like, I think he did it right. I think he took this amazing plot and, like, between cinematography and all that, like, it's awesome. It's one of my favorite films. And I honestly can't think of the words because I really love this movie. But at number 1,
for this film, we can't play any clips from.
Okay, yes.
Sorry for all these people.
Yeah, we're sorry that we can't show clips from this film. But at number 1...
Needed to get that off my chest. Okay.
Yeah, Zion was editing, and he calls me. He's like, "Judah, we got copyrighted claim." And I was like, "Oh wow, okay." But yes. So at number 1, though, and this is a really tough decision, I have Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this actually kind of goes back to the conclusion we made last season at our ranking, which is sometimes nostalgia for the person watching is what drives the film home. And for me, Jurassic Park is, one, it's an incredible film all around. Special effects, acting, plot, those are all incredible from this movie. But this is a film that like my parents owned like since I was really young. So this was one of like the first PG-13 movies that I saw. It was probably Star Wars technically, but this was one of the first ones for me, and I like loved it since I was a kid. So that's why Jurassic Park is number 1 for me. And even though I love Inception, Jurassic Park's above it. So
Jurassic Park is basically the great Muppet.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, we made that promise last season that we'd watch my nostalgia film, and I was like, Zion, I think it's Jurassic Park. And I think that really holds up with my final list here. So you're probably seeing my final list on the screen right now. But Zion, do you just want to take it home with your last two?
For my number 2 pick, it is The Little Mermaid. It probably
I can't believe this got this high.
Relieved. You're probably very relieved right now.
I am very relieved right now. I just still can't believe it got this high on your list. It's so.
I thought this had a better. I thought Ariel's character got in depth than people give it. More in depth than people give it like credit for as a film.
Okay.
The music was good. The animation was good. Okay, so for my number 1, it is The Bad Seed, which I liked this one because it felt like a Twilight Zone episode, but just a movie length, you know?
Yeah.
The acting is very good, you know?
The acting was fantastic in our opinions. Yeah.
It was a perfect film in my opinion.
Yeah, and honestly, I totally see how you have The Bad Seed in number 1, because if it wasn't for Jurassic Park, Inception, and Jaws like having sort of a special place in my heart, like I would say like The Bad Seed totally is like a number 1 spot film. It was super surprising, like, you know, I was super surprised by it. It was like nothing of what I was expecting, and I wasn't even sure what I was expecting. So yeah, it was well, obviously that means that you guys should go watch The Bad Seed. I don't think it's on any streaming service, but I think you can rent it on like Vudu or something. So you totally should. Yeah. Right now, you have to. We have said it. We have proclaimed it. But yeah, so that means, Zion, that we're at the end. Can you believe that? Season 2 is like coming. It's come and gone, and all like that. We had some fantastic films this season. I'd say like each of our top 5 consists of like, you know, top tier films. Even Zion, I will say, even though I didn't have it high on my list, The Little Mermaid is still a classic by a lot of people's standards. I know for sure my mom loves it, but legit, I think that we had a very good season. So for those of you that don't know, Zion's sister is in the room with him. But with all that said, Zion, I guess it's time to bring in the end of the season. Any final thoughts?
Goodbye, y'all.
Oh. Goodbye. Bye, Sayla. And goodbye, good audience. We will see you for season 3, which Jingling-a-Lang may have a certain theme. But goodbye, y'all.
Goodbye.
You're so frustrated with me. I love it.
Hocus pocus, mucus pucus. My powers of deduction tell me you're getting a handmade sweater, possibly yellow.
Mom, make him stop!
Bart, put down that yellow sweater.